Hi, my name is Marissa, and I'll be representing our Human Rights Working Group. As the Human Rights Concentration, we just have two pieces of constructive criticism that we'd like to see incorporated into future years of the GPI, as well as one suggestion that is kind of outside human rights specifically, but would work towards greater circulation and accessibility. So first, we would like to say that we appreciate and we agree with the GPI's incentivizing of human rights. That because this is about the tie between peace and economics, it really gives a reason to want to support human rights for economic reasons specifically. So for many years, the human rights community has relied on morality, guilt, charity, humanitarianism, whatever they could rally to promote human rights globally. And the GPI shows that human rights haven't declined or improved, that things are pretty much staying the same. So this is a new approach, and so it's something that really interested our group. The GPI kind of makes it so relying on corporate social responsibility and the pressure to do no harm is not the only way that businesses are motivated to uphold human rights. Instead, the GPI creates incentives for purely profit-maximizing businesses to promote human rights. As the overall level of peace in a given nation improves, the investments and businesses then want to continue to promote human rights. So as the level of peace slowly rises, their investments become more and more secure. So there have, of course, been attempts to attract foreign businesses into new markets before, but we're more confident that the GPI will aid this process in the right ways for the right reasons, because if the reason the new businesses are going in is because of this comprehensive improvement of all these different indicators, then the society is in a position where its institutions and its structures of peace are going to make it so the country can't be exploited for as easily. Businesses are going in to work with these transparent democratic populations rather than going in for cheap labor or free resources or things like that. So that said, encouraging profit-maximizing businesses is always a slippery slope. So we would just add one caveat, our first piece of constructive criticism. We understand that the GPI measures negative peace, the absence of direct violence, in order to pinpoint which structures and institutions create and maintain peace, to ultimately work towards positive peace, or the absence of structural violence and real harmony, as has been mentioned before. We would like to recommend that there's a closer look taken then at positive peace indicators within the index to prevent the incentives mentioned above from furthering exploitation. If more indicators for positive peace are added to the index, such as better use of the Gini coefficient, more on labor equality, that sort of thing, it ensures that this is a benefit to the increasingly peaceful societies and not a stigma, as foreign business entering developing markets has often been in the past. In terms of the 23 indicators and the 33 sub-indicators, we'd like to see the following. The sub-indicators devoted to education measure access to education, including enrollment numbers, spending, that sort of thing. But we'd like to see a qualitative indicator added for the content of education. If education is biased, it will not aid in conflict transformation, and that won't contribute to positive peace then. We'd also like to see an indicator that measures violence against women. After much discussion, we decided that violence targeted at marginalized populations does not sufficiently capture the specific destabilizing effect of violence against women, especially now that sexual violence has been deemed a tool of war by the United Nations. This would add greatly to the gender dimensions that are already examined in terms of overall inequality and political participation. So that's an important one. We'd also like to see something about reintegrating and re-socializing youths, whether it's child soldiers in Africa, ex-gang members in developed countries, whatever it might be. And the biggest thing that we'd like to see added is that history is key to understanding the root causes of human rights violations and conflict. So we recommend an indicator which takes an aggregate of the GPI score for the last 5 years to be included in the current year's score. And we recommend that this indicator be weighted as a 5 because we think that that's how important history is in terms of conflict transformation. So unfortunately, I'm not going to get to make my suggestions about circulation or accessibility, but I will make sure that that's included in our working paper that we'll be providing later on. Thank you.